Hey, Dusty. Alex had kind of a difficult first half of the year, and he really turned it on after the All-Star break. He's had a strong playoffs. Where did you see him kind of turn his season around? Anything specific you can kind of point to?
Well, you know, the main thing is that he stayed healthy and stayed in the lineup. And, you know, that was a problem the last couple of years, you know, before that. And, you know, he never really got going for a couple of years there. But this year, I think he played more games than anybody, and that gave him time to get his stroke, get his legs together. And, you know, he's been remarkable in the second half and into these playoffs. He didn't have a very good playoff, bless you. He didn't have a very good playoff last year. And so, you know, he's a big game guy. And, you know, he enjoys, I mean, he's a gym rat that enjoys baseball as much as anything.
Christy in the third row.
What did you think about Framber overall, and especially how he was able to shake off that mess in the fourth inning and finish the game well?
Well, great question. I mean, he was great. I mean, he came out. You don't see him throwing 95 consistently like that. And then he found his breaking ball in the middle innings, and you know, he was changing speeds on his breaking ball, and you know, he was outstanding. And you know, you always worry about a young player being able to shake off something like that. But Maldi, the guys on the team, you know, they told him, hey, forget it. And, you know, you still got the lead, go out and pitch. And, you know, he might have shut him out had he not, you know, had his own miscues. But that's shows you, I mean, we all got something to work on. And, you know, he's been working on it. And so, you know, he'll be better. And I tell you, he was outstanding, and I mean, that's a heck of a lineup that he pitched against tonight.
Stay in the third row.
Abreu in the eighth against the top of their order. What's given you just the confidence in him this postseason?
Well, the confidence comes from what he did during the season, and you know, he's matured. I mean, he's matured 100% in his confidence and you know, his command of the strike zone, and. You know, we didn't have Montero tonight, and we weren't really sure about Presley either. And, you know, we got a couple guys that we could have turned to, but we felt that we kind of went with the hot hand, and the hitters they had up, especially the left-handed hitters, you know, he's been tough. I mean, he's been very tough, and that's what gives us confidence. You know, the better, I mean, we're in a performance game, and the better you perform, you know, you climb up the ladder and in the areas of where we can use them.
We'll stay in the third row with Brian.
Dusty, every game that you guys have played in the playoffs, it's been tight, it's been close. I think we mentioned pregame, it could have gone either way. What are you seeing from your team that's allowing you to find a way to win these games? I mean, sometimes it's power, sometimes it's defense, sometimes it's pitching, but collectively, it's just been overall very sharp baseball through all 5 games overall.
Well, you know, the playoffs, you're going to be facing number 1s and number 2s and number 3s every once in a while. You're going to be facing their top pitchers. You know, they're not going to, starters usually are going to go a little shorter and go into their quality in their bullpen. You're going to get the high leverage guys that you would normally get during the season, and you'll get them in the middle of the ball game. And, you know, I mean, look at Loaizaga. You know, what time of the game he came in. So, you know, they're going to be close ball games. You know, we're a high contact team, which helps us a lot. And you know, once you start winning these close games like we did down the stretch and most of the years, you know, went in our favor, because I think our one-loss record and one-loss game in one-runs games was high. And once you get used to that, and a lot of that, when you win these close games, it's pitching and defense. And, you know, usually we don't beat ourselves. And so, you know, we don't care what the score was or is, just as long as we touch home plate one more time than they do.
Danielle in the third row.
Dusty, you guys have pitched Judge really well so far this series. Well, I'm not trying to jinx it. well, two big at bats tonight. When
Right.
there was a runner on, Fromber got him out in the 5th, and then Abreu in the 8th. Just what have been the keys so far, and how do you think that your pitchers have done, not being too intimidated by him and all that he is?
Well, I mean, he's the biggest dude in baseball and the most powerful guy in baseball. I mean, you'd rather not have to face him with any man on base, and we've escaped, so far. And, you'd rather not have to face Judge in those situations. But, sooner or later you're going to have to face him. You can't pitch around him all the time. They got some very dangerous guys coming up behind him. That's the power of how your team or their team sets their lineup. So, like I said, we're not going to mess with Judge too much. We just kind of leave him alone.
Mark?
Dusty, some thoughts about going up there now, up 2-0 in the series.
Well, I mean, my thoughts are, we're going to try to get that third one, and because that's the only thing that you can control is, that one game at a time, that third game. So we're just going to try to play the same way we've been playing. Hopefully, we get some guys hot. We got a few guys hot, and we'd like to get everybody hot before it's over with.
And we'll stay in the first row here.
Dusty, as the ninth inning began, at what point did you notice the fan coming onto the field? Was there concern for what obviously might happen with Altuve and concern that it might impact how the flow of the game or the inning would go?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't notice it until the crowd started going crazy, and I looked out, and, I mean, what he did was wrong, but what, he looked harmless. It looked like he was doing it out of love and respect for Altuve. And then I think Altuve handled it, very well. I mean, you hate to see that happen because, Presley was ready, and then he had to back off and had to, regroup himself because, when you're coming out of the bullpen and they're playing that song, his song, I mean, you sort of get into a flow of things. You take your warm-up pitches and then you're ready to go. So that kind of broke. But, he's been around a long time and he handled it well.
Daniel in the second row.
Dusty, not to state the obvious, but just how important are home runs for what you guys are doing right now? I think, especially at this time of year in the playoffs, I think most of your run production, even dating back to the Seattle series, has come from the home run.
Well, I mean, those guys over there, I mean, most of their runs come on home runs or walks after you walk somebody a home run. So, you hate to live and die by the home run, but you'll take them, when you get them. It's hard to, you don't see many rallies with 3 or 4 hits in a row, period. It's the same way during the regular season. I mean, it's a different game now. And like I said, it's very important when you hit the home runs that they're meaningful, and the scores are such that most home runs that are hit are meaningful. So, you can't just hit home runs when you feel like it, because if so, we'd hit like 7, 8 a night.
The last quick one from Steve, because Alex is outside.
Hey, can you talk about Tucker's catch on the ball in the 8th
Yeah.
that Judge hit at the track?
Yeah, I mean, Tuck, I mean, he's one of the best right fielders in the world. And you never know in this ballpark if a ball is going to go out of right field or not. I mean, it's a short porch, short fence, and, Judge can reach any part of the ballpark. Guys like him and Stanton and those guys, it doesn't really matter where they play, but a lot of their power is the opposite field. And, we didn't know. I mean, at the time, Howie Kendrick was just in here, and they were still talking about Howie hitting that home run off the right field foul pole and when he was with Washington. So, I'm just glad that it stayed in the park.
Dusty, thanks so much. We'll see you in New York.
Yep. Okay.
All right, congrats, Alex. Pre-game and post-game, it must be good luck for you to come in. We'll start with Mark up front.
Alice, can you talk about the home run, what your thoughts were circling the bases, and how big it was given, well, that was it for the offense with the score that it was?
Yeah, it was just sorry. I was fortunate enough to get that at bat because Jordan hustled down the line. He plays the game hard, and just trying to square up a ball is tough off of him. He's one of the best pitchers in the game, and missed under a few fastballs, and was fortunate enough to square that one up, and give us the lead.
Daniel in the second row.
Alex, I know this might sound a little obvious, but just how important are home runs to what you guys are doing offensively, especially in the postseason? I think it's accounted for most of you guys' run production, even dating back to the Seattle series.
Yeah, I feel like we want to create runs in many different ways, but sometimes it's the home run. They got a really tough pitching staff over there, and they're really good. So just trying to scratch and claw and battle and try and fight.
We'll go to Christy on the left, Alex.
Alex, how big is it for you guys to be up 2-0 heading to their park for 2, maybe 3 more games?
Yeah, I think we did a good job the first 2 games, and just got to keep playing hard, keep competing. It's fun playing in the postseason. Great atmosphere here, great atmosphere there, and just looking forward to continue to compete.
On the second row on your left.
Hey, Alex. You raised both your slugging and your OPS about 100 points from the first half through the second half. What kind of sparked that change in your season? Anything you can kind of point to?
Yeah, landing closed. I've been landing open for like 2 years, kind of, so I needed to fix some mechanical things. My front side was kind of flying off the baseball when I had swing, so just during the All-Star break, really got in the cage and really got after it and tried to get mechanically sound. Feeling healthy this year, and that's a big thanks to our training staff and strength and conditioning coaches, and I'm just fortunate enough to continue to compete on this ball club, man.
How did you recognize that you were flying open, and then what did you do to actually fix that?
Well, I knew I was doing it for the last 2 years. I just couldn't fix it, or I would have. But we did some different drills in the cage so I could feel it. Still today, I did it on the changeup. I kind of came off of it a little bit, but just focusing on the mechanics with our hitting coaches and trying to put together some good at bats.
We're going to welcome Framber to join Alex. We'll go to Greg.
Alex, if I could, your view of Tucker's catch at the wall, which is obviously a play that changes this game. And if you could maybe share, how often we've seen him do this, and he makes it look routine. Do you appreciate the skill level that he employs there?
Yeah, to be honest, this is a series of 2 of the probably I think the best Mookie as well, but 2 of the top 3 probably right fielders defensively in the game of baseball. Judge and Tucker both make incredible plays in right field. So, like you said, we've seen Tucker do that a lot, but he's a great defender. He really is.
Far back on your right, Chandler.
Alex, and then I'd like Fromber to weigh on this too. Alex, what was that mound visit like after Fromber threw away Giancarlo's ball in the 4th inning? Kind of, what did you do to kind of settle him down? And then Fromber, how did you kind of collect yourself after that and come back to get out of that inning?
Actually, when we got to the mound, Framber was just ready to continue compete. We just said, let's not let this be a big inning. Let's just continue to execute pitches and do exactly what you do. And every time he takes the mound, we have a lot of confidence in him. And he competed all night, and was just super happy for him and how he pitched, and he did a great job.
Robert.
Nada, yo simplemente aclaré la mente, reconocí que la fallé ahí, me emocioné, no, me confié en ese rolling para el doble play, no logré sacar ni un out, bajaron 2 carreras, pero eso simplemente me enfoqué, saqué mi 3 outs y pude conseguir un 7º inning con 2 carreras y pudimos mantener el juego hasta el final.
Yeah, just go over mine right there. I would admit, I think in that moment, I got a little bit too confident with that ground ball, and I didn't get anybody out. Obviously, those 2 runs scored, but thankfully I was able to get locked in again, get out of that inning, and continue pitching, do a good job.
Danielle on your right, guys.
Fromber, what was your overall approach against Aaron Judge tonight, especially in that fifth inning at bat where you got him to fly out to Tucker?
¿Cuál fue tu plan de ataque contra Aaron Judge, especialmente ese quinto inning que conseguiste el fly?
Mi plan siempre ha sido el mismo. Desde que lo he enfrentado a ellos, tirar strike, atacar la zona, tirar mi buenos picheos como curva, cambio, reta, single. Y simplemente tirar el strike y saber localizar los picheos para sacarle agua a cualquier oponente.
I think my plan of attack against him has been the same one all year. Is just attack him in the strike zone, throw my good pitches in the strike zone, my curveball, my changeup, my fastball, my sinker. Just being able to locate those pitches well in the strike zone, and that's what I've been able to do all year.
Kim up front here.
Hey, Alex, can you talk about playing with the roof open? That's kind of rare here. Does it change anything for how you guys, approach or go out to the game?
It's tough to tell. Every time it's open, it's a little bit different, but just one of those things. You just gotta play.
Jesus.
Fromber, quería hablar sobre la madurez que has enseñado tú, pero también de Abreu, lo que enseñó hoy y la madurez. Fromber, I'd like to ask you about the maturation process that you've shown over the last years and that Abreu has shown recently.
Primeramente por Abreu, no ha emocionado mucho al equipo y no ha llenado de orgullo y confianza hacia él de la madurez que ha tenido, del enfoque que ha traído al equipo, lo que le ha demostrado al equipo, lo que ha hecho en el montículo, y los hallamos muy bien y nos hemos sentido muy bien con él. Incluso yo también me he enfocado, como siempre digo, que trabajo con mi psicólogo personal para mantenerme enfocado en el juego, hacer mis cosas como tengo que hacerlas. Y siempre está, no importa la situación como la de hoy, mantenerte enfocado y tratar de que el equipo se mantenga ganando.
Yeah, first to start with Abreu, I think we are all very excited to have him here. He's matured a ton, and he's definitely helped the team a lot throughout the season, and even now. In terms of, for me, I think I've just been trying to stay focused. Like I said, I've been working with a personal psychologist all season, and I think he's definitely helped me a lot to be able to stay focused throughout the whole year.
Is there a last question or two for Alex before we go to Fromber? We'll go up front here, and then we'll let Alex go and focus on Fromber.
Alex, that one-run games like this, any one play can change things. That play at the end of the sixth inning that you obviously directed towards Jeremy, what did you think of the play that he made to finish that off?
It was awesome. He was in the right spot at the right time, and made a strong throw across the diamond. Sometimes you got to get the ball to bounce your way, and right there on that play, it did.
Alex, thanks a lot for coming in.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Congratulations. Let's see a couple more for Fromber. The third row on your left.
You fell behind a lot the first time through the order, but the strikeout of Bader to end the third, did you feel like you started to get into a rhythm at that point?
Caíste por debajo de muchos de los bateadores la primera parte por la alineación de ellos. Pudiste ponchar a Bader en el tercer inning. ¿Pensaste que eso te ayudó a caer en un buen ritmo?
Pienso que sí, le caí por debajo a varios bateadores, pero como digo, lo importante es mantener el ritmo, de enfocarse, de respirar en medio de cada picheo. Pude sacarlo de out y a pesar de que me caí por abajo, seguí el mismo enfoque y pude tirar mi bola de strike y mantener el juego hasta el séptimo.
Yeah, definitely. I fell behind a lot of the hitters the first time through. But like I said, I think the biggest thing is just trying to stay focused, just breathing in between pitches to be able to get locked back in. And again, thankfully, because of that, I was able to get through 7 innings today.
Other questions? Chandler on your right, guys.
Fromber, what, if anything, was different about your curveball the second, third time through the order? It really looked like it got a lot better as the game went on.
¿Hubo algo diferente sobre tu curva la segunda y tercera vez de la alineación de ellos que se vio como que mejoró mucho?
Sí mejoró mucho, pero en el primer inning, segundo, me sentí un poco como todavía frío en el partido. El techo estaba abierto, o sea, estamos impuestos en casa a jugar con el techo cerrado, siempre estamos calientes, pero me sentí un poco frío, calenté bien y pude ejecutar mi curva a partir del tercer inning hasta el séptimo y nada, ajuste que uno hace en medio del juego.
Yeah, I think the first 2 innings, I felt still a little bit cold. I wasn't fully warmed up. You know, the roof was open. It's something that we're not used to playing with usually here. But I think after that inning, I was able to warm up properly, and then the curveball got a lot better from the 3rd through the 7th inning. But, you know, those are all adjustments that we make in the middle of the game, and thankfully we did it.
We'll do two more for Fromber. Christy?
Fromber, you talk so much about your growth and maturation over the past few years and all the work you've done, like on your mental game. I wondered if you think 3 or 4 years ago, if what happened in the fourth inning would have happened, if you would have been able to shake it off and finish as strong as you did tonight.
Tú has hablado mucho sobre tu madurez y tu enfoque. ¿Tú piensas que lo que pasó en el tercer inning, el cuarto inning, hubiera pasado hace 4 años atrás, que pudiera rebotar y seguir pichando como pichaste hoy?
En realidad, siendo razonable, no había seguido. 2019 no había continuado el partido. Estuviera ya fuera, estuviera ya desenfocado, estuviera ya fuera del partido en el cuarto. Pero como con el transcurso del tiempo uno madura, uno trabaja para perfeccionarse en el juego y enfocarse en esas situaciones como la de hoy, son cosas que te mejoran y hacen que tú tengas más valor jugando el béisbol.
Yeah, to be quite honest, I think back in 2019, probably would have been done with the game. I probably would have lost all focus there at that moment. But those are all things that we work out on and just continue working hard to be able to focus better, and get better in the game. But yeah, definitely, I don't think it would have happened a couple years ago.
Other questions for Fromber? All right, Fromber, congratulations. Generally, thank you very much. Appreciate it.